Morning, everybody. I'm standing on my front porch, and I'm pretty excited this morning because of what I'm seeing at the sky at the same time from my front porch or my yard, but hopefully I can get it on video properly. So I'm panning up right now to show you. Hopefully, here's the moon, a big bushy tree here. It's like 8:20 in the morning, and there's the moon. Well, let me see if I can get in without it messing up the video too bad. Zoom in. There's the moon. And I'm going to pan over here this way, and that was the west. Okay, so I'm panning over here to the east. Okay, and we have big giant trees in our yards, us and our neighbors. Fortunately, we live in a neighborhood where there's still a lot of old trees, and as you can see, there's the sun shining very brightly through the trees. And what I think is interesting, not only about this, but is that they're like, the moon is still higher than the sun right now. So if we lived on a globe, how in the world could we see the sun and the moon at the same time, and the moon this time of morning be maybe a little higher than the sun? So I find that interesting. Here, I'm going to pan out and walk out through my yard a little bit so you can see this is really the sun. I'll walk past the trees. So, but here it comes. Once we get past the trees, it's like, boom! There you go. Now, that sun is just, it's really low, and it's like closer than I ever remember. And I've watched the sky since I was a little kid, and the last few years I've been seeing all kinds of signs, taking all kinds of pictures. I haven't really shared them a lot of them. I've shared a few. We're gonna pan back over here, see if I can show you the moon from this side again. So hang on, we'll get there. Okay, and here we'll pan up, and then there, boom, there's the moon. Right over here to the west. As you can see, I use this as a reference. Here's the pole, moon, my front yard, the tree top, back to the moon. Sorry if the video's a little shaky. It's my first one. I'm gonna upload about what I feel is a small bit of proof that our planet, or plane heat of existence, is not on what we thought it was. And that's been a real kicker for me, because I was such a nerd. I mean, I knew all kinds of things about our supposed real science and how the universe is supposed to really work. Yet I was always open to whatever the truth really is. There's the sun again. I felt, that prime creator made it anyway. So, but, it does say in the Bible, I feel kind of like a doe right now because I can't remember what verse it is, even though I've read it many times. I think I get distracted by what it actually says. I'm just panning around while I'm talking. It pretty much says that there's a bottom firmament, a top firmament, which is likened unto glass, as of sapphire, and it's very, very durable. And that he divided the waters from above from the waters from below, and let land masses come up, and created pillars, and and protected us. In his realm is supposed to be above the waters above us. So we have supposedly a dome and a protective layer, and then the waters above, and then supposedly the realm of God's kingdom. But then I'm beginning to wonder if we're not the ones that are actually upside down, even though there's a dome. There's a lot of things. So really brings on a different meaning to everything. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope maybe it gives you a different perspective, or maybe some curiosity to go out there and test some research yourself. But also, well, no, I'm not done. I wanted to add that the whole reason I came out here was because I was going to do some grounding, some sun gazing. And you come out, and I just started this last year. Just my inner something kept telling me, or not like in a weird way, but like a very loving way. It was very I've always loved. It's like I see things in a whole even deeper perspective now. So I would come outside, or just look through my window because it faces the east, and just watch the sun. And found that I could look at the sun for several seconds without it hurting my eyes, and I found that just fascinating. Also, when I didn't wear any shoes, I noticed that I felt like that real close connection, like I forgot about when I was a little kid. And so I just came out here to do some grounding, and yet I saw this morning. It was like a perfect opportunity. So I ran back in and got my camera. It was a perfect opportunity when I saw where the moon and the sun were at the same time to catch it from my own front yard to share. Because the truth is, we don't live on what we were told. And it tells you flat out, not only in the Bible, but other ancient texts. You just have to do some research. And there's some other people talking about this stuff, but I also noticed too, not only did I find myself reconnecting to the mechanisms and energies of our Father's creation, like the land and the sky, the sun, and the moon, just all of it, is I never was a big meat eater in the first place, but I did like a bacon cheeseburger every now and then, and I'd eat very, very little meat besides that, or some chicken, and at Thanksgiving I'd eat the least, tiniest amount of meat possible, and then pile it up with all the vegetables and other stuff I could. But again, this year, it's like this calling or something, I don't know what to call it, has come over me. And just knowing what I know about, too, the reality about how our animals as foods are handled is horrible, it's deplorable, it's disgusting. And I just started to just change inside, and like new information, I felt like information was flowing through me more freely. So all of a sudden, I stopped eating meat and just started eating, fruits and vegetables, and you can get protein from pastas and rice and beans and nuts and all that. So, and the weird thing is, I really haven't even I haven't even really missed the meat too much, except for like when I smell it, like a barbecue. Like when I used to eat a bacon cheeseburger, it's like the smell smells kind of good at first still, but then I find myself getting a little repulsed, you know. So that's been interesting. Here's the moon again. I know I'm just panning back and forth. I hope y'all don't mind. You know, I just don't know if I'm ready to show my face on video yet, but I did want to share this and talk about some of my experience with some, in a small way, of some of the changes I've been going through and noticing. So, you know, so from going to a person who wanted to be like an astronaut to go to some of these supposed, you know, planets in our solar system and all that, to finding out that, well, that's why they can't get past the Van Allen radiation belts, is mostly because of God's firmament. And I guess I should add, is why I believe too, is this is so true, is about 5 years ago on Halloween, me and a boyfriend were having a really good time, you know, and we were kind of buzzed, but I started having this really weird spiritual experience here in my front yard. We were in his truck just hanging out. We have a very busy neighborhood with birds and everything. That's why I'm showing you the sky. So all of a sudden something comes over me, and it's like I'm looking at the sky, but it doesn't look like I'm used to seeing it. All of a sudden I just see like this, I can't explain it. I guess it was sort of like shimmery, but like unlike into a glass, and it had these grid lines running through it, like almost like a plasma or electrified net, you know. And it kind of shocked me. It was very mind-blowing. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I was like, you know, I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So I guess then, so my next point is, I'm kind of a super nerd. Well, anyway, it was like, so I read a lot of stuff most other people don't read. That's just me, you know, to each their own. But what I found is, I started researching I came across the emerald tablets of Thoth. And in those tablets, there's a lot of interesting information, in my opinion, that corroborates a lot of the Creator's design, and talks about the dark beings and how they are a cause of a few civilizations falling. And he also goes on, and I could not believe when he came to a segment and started talking about the net, the enclosure around the plane, the realm of Earth. The plane of Earth. There goes some birds. Oh, I don't know if I caught them all. Oh, anyway. So anyway, that's pretty much the few points I wanted to make in this very first video, because now I'm going to get back to my sun gazing, so I can connect to Creator's true, one of his main gorgeous creation sources, energy in connection to information, the sun. And I don't say this from reading in a book really, but I say this from experience now. And it's been kind of mind-blowing. There's other people who are out there who've had the same kind of experience, almost happen in like the same kind of a similar manner, you know. I'll mention them in another video when I do my next video. Anyway, thanks for listening. This is Ancient Able One. Have a good day, and God bless us all. May we all wake up, brothers and sisters, and see the real truth that we have been hiding from us right under our noses with all their illusions and deceptions. So, much love to you all, and thanks to Prime Creator for having mercy and patience for us to wake up. and help repair ourselves. We go back to Him. Thank you.